Hi, in this video, I'll be talking about the fourth lab program of the subject Principles of Programming using C. Okay, so the statement is write a C program to display the following by reading the numbers of rows as input. Okay, so you're supposed to give the number of rows and it has to generate a given pattern. Okay, so look at the pattern over here. The pattern is okay, it starts at 1. Okay, if the row is 1, it's 1. If the row is 2, then it is 1 2 1. If the row is 3, 1 2 3 2 1. Like that it goes on till the nth row. So it will be, if it is n rows, then it would be the middle element would be n, then in the either sides it would be n minus 1, n minus 2, like that it will go up till 1. Okay, this is how you will generate, this is the pattern that you are supposed to generate. Now, for this program to work, we need to know one concept called as loops. See, let me show it to you over here. See, for example, if I want to input, if I want to input 100 numbers and I have to find its sum. I have to find the sum of the 100 numbers. Now you see, if it is in the normal programming way, then if it is 100 numbers, then I will have like num1, num2 till num100, correct? These are the variables I will have, and if I have to find the sum, I will have something like this. Okay, this is how I will find the sum. See, for 100 numbers. What if it is 1000 numbers or 10,000 numbers? See here, it's the same thing. These are the numbers. They are all of the type integers and I have to find its sum. Now, imagine the time and the space it will take to input these numbers, to declare them, to find its sum and all that. See, the time is going to be a lot, correct? Because for computer, okay, even a second is a big thing. Okay, so is there any way that I can reduce the number of steps, because these are similar, right? So I have to input 100 numbers. So input, you will ask, enter the first number, then scanf, enter the second number, then scanf, like this. These steps are sort of repetitive. So is there any way that I can avoid these repetitive steps, but still I should be able to input 100 numbers? So is there any way for this? So the solution is loop. What is a loop? Okay, see, a set of program, there in a loop there will be set of programming statements, and these statements will be executed till a condition is set to be true. See, if the condition is true, a set of statements should get executed. For example, here, till we go on inputting 100 numbers, till the number becomes 100, you should be able to input. So once it is 100, then it should stop. See, the condition is true. What is the condition there? Till the numbers input are 100. So first number okay, second number okay, third number okay. Till the number becomes 100, you should be able to input the values. Okay, so this is how the loop works. In this also, I hope you know that there are three types of loop. One is for loop, the other one is while loop, and the other one is do while loop. These are the three types of loop, and for this lab program I will be using the for loop. So for loop, the syntax looks like this. For, then there would be initial value, semicolon, final value, and then your increment or decrement. Okay, so this is how the syntax looks like. This is a syntax for loop. Now the thing is, if I have to input 100 numbers, so for, okay, we give one variable name, because if I just give numbers, the computer won't be able to understand, right? The values has to be given to a variable. So I will give it I'll give the variable name as I. So I equal to initial value. So you at what number do we start? We start at first number and then we go up till 100, correct? So I should be able to input the first number. So I equal to 1. Start from the first number. Then go till the final value. Till the final value. What is the final value for this? Final value for this is till the number of input becomes 100. So till the number becomes 100. So I less than or equal to 100. You should start at 1 and you should be able to input until the numbers are 100. Then 1 is becoming 2. So first number, then second number, then third number. So I or this value is increasing by 1, right? Because 1 is becoming 2, 2 is becoming 3, like that. But this value 1 is assigned to I. So you will write I plus plus. Like this. Okay, so this is how the loop works, and what you will do, you should be able to input the numbers in the body of the loop. You will write enter the number, then scanf percentage d number, so and of n, like this. This is how it will work. Okay, so now we will see the code. So you have understood, right? So how the loop works and what is a loop? Loop means a certain set of statements would be executed until the condition is true. Once the condition is false, nothing would get executed. So what is the syntax for the for loop? For loop has three parameters. One is initial value, then the final value, then there is increment or decrement. And inside the for loop, there is a set of statements that you would give. If the condition is true, then it will get executed. Now look at this code here. Okay, so the algorithm is also there and the flowchart is also there. I shall share this with you. See here. One minute. See. Okay, see here. Header file, start of the main program, and the parameters, the inputs. Okay, not the inputs, sorry, the variables. Now, first input is the only input that you will have is enter the number of rows and scanf percentage d and of n. N means the number of rows here. Next, see the pattern is like this. Okay, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1. Let's say n is equal to 3. That means the number of rows equal to 3. So the pattern that is generated is of this type. Okay, now we would need the loop. See, I need to generate this, these are similar, right? So till where you will print the number of rows, till this condition is true, till n becomes 3. So you see set of repetitive statements. So you are going to use the concept of loop. But several loops are required. See, once you give 3, okay, that means number of rows are 3, right? So it will start at I equal to 1, I less than or equal to n. That means till the number of rows you have input. And I plus plus, that means first row, then it will go up to second row till the nth row that you have given. Okay, so first for loop is for the number of rows that you have input. Okay, so number of rows. Now you see the second one. See here. Once you do this, see very carefully. For example, this one. If I take the first row, see the total number of spaces in that row. See here. So if it is 3, in the top row there would be 2 spaces. N is equal to 3. Total number of spaces in the top row is 2, correct? So if it is 5, then the number of spaces is how much? Number of spaces would be 4. For example, if it is like this, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, and 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1. See the number of spaces 1, 2 and 3. when the number of rows are 4, then the number of spaces is 3. So if it is n, it would be n minus 1, correct? So if the number of rows are n, then the spaces would be n minus 1. Okay, but the thing is, look at this loop. Look at this loop. So for printing the number of blank spaces also, you need that one loop. Okay, so here you see printf the space, but how does the for loop look like? It will start at 1. This number of spaces starts at 1, and the total, this final condition is n minus I. J equal to 1, j less than or equal to n minus I. Why is this n minus I? It has to be n minus 1, right? Because see, based on the value of I only, this number of spaces would get determined, right? Based on the number of values of the value of I. See here, if it is 4, at a given point of time, if I is equal to 4, then it will be 4 minus 1, 3. So this depends upon the, this final condition for the number of spaces depends upon the number of rows you have input. Okay, so this is how the second loop works. So the first loop is for understanding the number of rows. The second loop is for printing the spaces. Okay, next third one, okay, is for writing the numbers. See here what they have done is, okay, I have written the code in such a way that the numbers which are in the first half, that means the numbers in this, you see in the first half the numbers are increasing. See, 1 is becoming 2, 2 is becoming 3. So this first half I have printed using one for loop, and the second half the numbers are decreasing, right? Once the numbers have increased in the first half, then the numbers have decreased. So this is the second half. So for printing the first half I have used one loop, and for printing the second half I have used another loop. See this value. See the for loop. For j equal to 1, okay, j less than or equal to I. So whatever I value is there, whichever row you are in, okay, till there you have to print. If I is equal to 3, that means you are in the third row. So it will start at 1 and it will go up till 3. So this is how this will work. J equal to 1, j less than or equal to I, j plus plus. So it will start at 1 and it will go up till the row number that you are in. Then printing the second half. How do you print the second half? You see here. See here. We started. Okay. So at a given point of time, if this is I, so this is I minus 1. We have to start from the number that is in the second half, right? So I minus 1. Okay. J is equal to I J is equal to I minus 1. Till where you will go? Till the number becomes 1. So, greater than or equal to 1, because the numbers have to go, right? Greater than or equal to 1. Okay, and numbers are decreasing. So, j minus minus. See here. I minus 1 greater than or equal to 1 and j minus minus. What are you supposed to do? Print the value of j. This is how this program will work. Okay, so what are you supposed to do? You take the number of inputs, the number of rows as the inputs, then you will have 4 rows. There are many programming logics for doing this. This uses the concept of loops. To be very precise, because we are using multiple for statements, we can say that we are making use of nested looping statements. And how does this work? So there will be 4 loops. First loop will be for the number of rows. So determining the number of rows. So for I equal to 1, I less than or equal to n, n is the number of rows, I plus plus. Okay, so once you have the number of loop for the number of rows, then next thing, that second loop is for printing the spaces. So at a given point, that is at the given value of I, okay, how many spaces would be required? For j equal to 1, j less than or equal to I j plus plus. Okay. Then the third loop is for printing the characters in the ascending order, the first half. So j equal to 1, j less than or equal to I, because I will determine, right, because the outer loop will decide, right. So j equal to 1, j less than or equal to I, j plus plus. Once you have printed the numbers in the ascending order, then you will go in the opposite direction, that is numbers less than. So j equal to I minus 1, and then till where you will go, till it becomes 1. So j greater than or equal to 1, then your numbers are getting increased, so j minus 1. Okay, so you will need printf statements also. One printf statement is for the space, one printf statement is for the characters in the first half, and the next one is for the the characters in the second half. Okay, and we also have the flow chart over here. So start, then read the numbers, okay, number of rows, and call it as n. Then first loop for I equal to 0, I less than n. Okay, then okay, this here there is a confusion. This should have been here, because first you will input the number of rows, right? So this has to go to the top. Okay, and then this loop is for determining the number of rows. See here, this is for the space. So for j equal to 1, j less than I, n minus I. What you will do, if it is true, you will print saying that this is you will print the spaces. Next one would be, if it is false, then you will come out of it. So false means I have shown here. See, next is for printing the characters of the first half, and the next loop is for printing the characters in the second half. Okay. If any of the for loop condition fails, then it will come out of it. Okay. Similarly, the algorithm also. So read the number of rows, then inputting the number of rows, printing the spaces, then display the numbers in the ascending order up to the middle, display the numbers in the reverse order after the middle, and you finish the program. This is the program, okay, to generate the pattern that is prescribed in the which is prescribed as a fourth program in the subject POP using C. Thank you so much.